Welcome to Kraft Field in South Charleston, West Virginia, where we are set for the state championship game between the undefeated Wahama White Falcons, coming in here today at 26-0, and the 23-6 Ritchie County Rebels. Hello, friends, and welcome into the broadcast booth. Chris Kidd with you, alongside me, Joe Mounts, our engineer for today's broadcast, as Wahama trying to finish off an unprecedented, undefeated season in their first ever trip to the state tournament in school history. And it'll be on the shoulders and the right arm of Mikey Living, as she has pitched every inning, every pitch for this Wahama team this season, and will now go to the bump for what she hopes is her final time this year, while Ritchie County has to not just win this game, they have to win another game after this to knock off Wahama, as they came out of the losers bracket with a 1-0 pitcher's duel win earlier this morning against Petersburg. And now they run into the team that has been their nemesis all season long, as 6 losses for Ritchie County. 4 of those came at the hands of this Wahama team, as Wahama defeated them 5-0, 5-0, 6-0 in the Little Kanawha Tournament Championships, and then defeated Ritchie County in the winners bracket final last night 6-3. So now can Ritchie County break through for the first win of what they will need in order to get to a deciding Game 3 after this. But if Wahama wins, the state tournament is over. If Ritchie County wins, we go to a deciding Game 3 in this double elimination format. Ritchie County will be the designated visiting team, and leading things off, it'll be Olivia Pittman to start things off for the Lady Rebels. She has been white hot in this tournament, 8 of 10 at the plate. Grounded out, popped out, and has 8 singles and a walk to her credit, and possibly the fastest player on the field here, and possibly on any field this week, as she hits a slow tapper towards second. Tough play, underhand throw to first, not in time, as Gibbs tried to get up on it, and underhand threw it over to Miller, but not in time, and that was perfect timing. Talking about the speed of Pittman, as that was a ground ball to second base, and she's still able to beat it out for an infield hit. And Gibbs did everything right on the play, but still could not throw out Pittman. That is now the 9th hit for her in this tournament. Living misses high, 1-0. Now the batter will be Marissa Jeffrey. Jeffrey 4 for 8 in the tournament, 3 strikeouts, a fly out, 4 singles, a walk, and was hit by a pitch. Swing and a miss by Jeffrey, 1-1. Ritchie County, coached by Dave Mosser, in his 37th year at Ritchie County, 29 sectional titles, 17 state tournament appearances, 2 state titles, and 7 state runner-ups. As this one chopped out towards second, possible double play ball on to second for 1, over to first, not in time. As Gibbs able to feed Noble for the force out at second base. Jeffrey will reach on the fielder's choice. Batter now will be Chloe Elliott. Again, the coaches for Ritchie County, Eric and Abby Burgess. On the other end for Wahama, head coach is Chris Noble, 50-3 in his 3 years as head coach at Wahama. Coaches are Mike Wolf and Todd Kitchen. Elliott 3 for 9 in this state tournament, 2 strikeouts, 2 pop-outs, reached on an error, flew out, but it's doubled, singled, and hit a 2-run home run last night off of Living to tie the game at 2 in that contest. We'll talk about her pitching performance whenever she gets on the bump in the bottom half of this inning, as she threw an absolute gem this morning, and this one's going to get in on Elliott and hits her. Now runners at first and second. With 1 out, that'll bring up Olivia Dodd. Last night, Wahama got out of a first inning jam against Ritchie County, as Ritchie loaded the bases with 1 out before a double play happened, with Gray lining out to Van Meter at third, and Van Meter stepping on the bag for the double play. So can Ritchie County break through early here? They have yet to take a lead on Wahama in any of the 4 games that they've played this season. Dodd 2 for 10 in this state tournament. Hits one sharp back up the middle. Not through, though, as Noble able to knock it down. Now here comes the runner to the plate, and she will score. Jeffrey kept booking it around the base path and is able to get to the plate. And Ritchie has their first lead on Wahama in any of the 5 games they've played this season. As Noble made an excellent stop out at shortstop. Could not get the ball out of her glove to second base for the force out, and Jeffrey just continued moving and is able to score as Coach Mosser sent her from third base. And Ritchie County not going to play tentative in this game, and I don't think they can afford to. So now there's J.C. Gray. She'll take a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Gray is 1 for 9 in this state tournament. 3 strikeouts, 2 pop-outs, 2 lineouts, a fielder's choice, had a home run and a walk with 2 RBIs. Swing and a miss, 0-2. We've talked about Living, sophomore. He's been under a lot of duress in this state tournament on the mound. This is the 11th time in her 15 innings pitched where runners have been in scoring position, but she's found a way to either get out of trouble or limit the damage. Can she do that here? Rise ball misses, 1-2. Living has struck out 218 batters coming into this state tournament in 155 innings, 26-0 record, 0.77 ERA, and as we mentioned, has thrown every pitch for Wahama this season. Here's the 1-2. Rise ball misses, 2-2. In game 1 against Petersburg, Living had 7 strikeouts, gave up 10 hits and 5 runs, and 1 hit batter. Against Ritchie County last night, had 9 strikeouts, gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 2 hit batters. Gray gets a piece of it. Stays alive in the count at 2-2. Fouled straight back into the screen by Gray. Gray batting .366 on the season, 6 doubles, a home run, and 8 RBIs coming into the state tournament. As runners at first and second with still only 1 out here in the top of the first with 1 run in. And that one hits her right in the helmet. Well, thankfully, Gray okay as she heads over to first base. That's the 2nd hit batter this inning now. Living in a lot of trouble here in the top of the first. That'll bring up Lily Law, who's 5 for 10 in the state tournament, 2 strikeouts, 2 groundouts, a fly out. Has a double and 4 singles, along with 2 RBIs. Has a golden opportunity here to put a big crooked number on the board for Ritchie County in the top of the first. Swing and a miss on a fastball, 0-1. We talked about it last night, how familiar these 2 teams are with each other. This being the 5th meeting, and I would imagine this was the pitching matchup each time, Living against Chloe Elliott. Fastball misses inside, 1-1. So again, it's more about execution than it is anything else. You know what both sides want to do and what they're good at. It's just a matter of who plays their best at the right time. Swung on and shot foul, 1-2. Ritchie County got here by defeating Weirton Madonna 7-2 and 4-1 in the regional tournament. While Wahama got here by defeating Man 2-0 and 11-4 in the regional tournament. They beat Man in 10 innings in that second game, scored 7 runs in the 10th inning to break that game open. Swung on and chopped. This is going to be a tough play. Fielded at third by Van Meter. Throws home and in time. Wolf able to hang in there with Weekly bearing down on her. And Van Meter just continues her outstanding play in the field. This play seemed nearly impossible whenever it first started. Everything had to be perfect from Van Meter, and it was. And she caught that ball on that low hop and had to get it out of her hands quickly and was able to do so. Now the batter will be Macy Ireland. Fastball comes inside, misses 1-0. Ireland 2 for 9 in the state tournament, 3 strikeouts, 2 pop-outs, a ground out, a fly out, and 2 singles with an RBI. Comes inside again and misses 2-0. Ritchie County was able to strike for 1 run in the top of the first inning against Petersburg this morning on Chloe Elliott's RBI double down the left field line, and that 1 run was able to hold up. Swing and a miss by Ireland, 2-1. If Elliott is pitching anything like she did this morning, any more runs are going to make life very difficult on Wahama here today. Swung on and chopped foul by Ireland, 2-2. Living 1 strike away from digging herself out of major trouble, even with 1 run across. This has the possibility to be so much worse right now, but can she do it once again? Ireland lays off, and now the count runs full. Living has nowhere to put Ireland. We'll see if Ireland's sitting dead red on a fastball here. Ball 4 high, and that'll walk in a run. And it is now 2-0 in favor of Ritchie County here in the top of the first. And now we've got a run down as runner goes to third, and she's thrown out. I don't know what happened there with Gray, but she meandered off the base. She thought that there was. And let's see, I figured that, again, we heard that in the booth, thought it might be a dead ball, with that being ball 4. So I'm not entirely sure what happened with Gray there. Okay, so they do say that the inning will continue here. Again, I'm not certain what happened there initially, if Gray came off the bag or what. Coach Chris Noble wanting an explanation here, so I don't know if Gray had committed to the bag and then come off the bag or not, or if she was on her way to the bag. But nevertheless, the inning does continue as Coach Noble doesn't seem pleased with the explanation he gets, but he'll go back to the dugout. So the base is still loaded here for Ritchie County with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Living struggling with her control here in the early going, as these 2 runs have come off of 2 hits, 2 hit batters, and a walk. Now you get Carly Sanju, the 8th batter this inning. She's 0 for 5 in this state tournament, 3 strikeouts, 2 groundouts, and 2 walks. Sanju. Sanju takes first pitch for a strike, 0-1. This one chopped back to the mound, fielded by Living, underhand throw to Miller, and that will do it. for the top of the first inning, but not before Ritchie County is able to put 2 runs across, and they take a 2-0 lead here in this state championship game between Ritchie and Wahama. We'll be back after this as you're watching the Class A state championship game with us right here on Video Productions.
General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
Boy, getting
Two to nothing Ritchie County here in the state championship game. Chris Kidd with you, alongside me, Joe Mounts, our engineer. And just a reminder that whether you need help with landscaping or the perfect manicured lawn, call All Seasons Lawn and Landscaping. Again, All Seasons Lawn and Landscape, proud supporters of girls softball and the Ritchie County Lady Rebels. Again, Ritchie County has to win this game in order to force a deciding game 3 in this state tournament. Again, Wahama is yet to lose all season or in this state tournament. Ritchie County, only loss that they had came against Wahama last night. So Ritchie County has to defeat them twice in order to win the state championship. Living's first pitch taken from Elliott, in for a strike, 0-1. Living is 3 of 7 in this state tournament at the plate. 2 strikeouts, a line out, a ground out, and 3 singles. Batting .608 on the season, and that's why, as she slats it into left field for a leadoff hit. That'll bring up Emma Gibbs, who's 2 for 8 in the state tournament. 3 strikeouts, 2 ground outs, a fielder's choice, and 2 singles. Here's Gibbs climbing in. That's the first pitch. Could not tell if they called that a ball or a strike or not. Gibbs on that off-speed pitch fouls it back into the screen. Again, Elliott comes into this state tournament 21-3 on the mound, 14 walks issued, 70 hits, and 144 innings with 234 strikeouts. This is a slow roller out to short. Pittman on it. Throws over to first. It's wide of the mark. That'll move Living over to third. Gibbs takes off for second. Now here comes Living to the plate. The throw is off the mark, and Living scores. Runner moves over to third, and just like that, Wahama has cut the deficit in half. Pittman had to hurry that throw because Gibbs was getting down the line, and it was just wide of God. And the ball scooted up the line, and Living was on her horse, able to score all the way from first. Now just that quickly, Wahama has a chance to tie this game up with Amber Wolf at the plate. Wolf 4 for 7 in the state tournament, 2 flyouts, a line out, 3 singles and a double, and 2 RBIs. She was perfect last night against Elliott, 3 for 3 at the plate. She's hit the ball right on the nose almost every time she's been at the plate in this state tournament, was just robbed on several occasions. This one popped up and going to get into foul territory. And Elliott with a 1.12 ERA on the season is signed to play college softball at Seton Hall. Against Midland Trail, she had 9 strikeouts, gave up 6 hits and 1 run in that 9-1 win to open the tournament. That one called strike 3, and that is a big strikeout of Wolf to record the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Lauren Noble. In her second game against Wahama last night, she had 9 strikeouts against the White Falcons, gave up 9 hits, 6 runs, and 1 hit batter. And then earlier this morning, just a beautiful performance as this one nubbed foul by Noble up the third base side. But this morning she struck out 13 batters against Petersburg, gave up 4 hits, 1 walk, 1 hit batter, no runs scored in that 1-0 win to get Ritchie County into the state finals. Noble is 1 for 7 in this state tournament. That one misses low, ball 1. Noble has 3 groundouts, 2 flyouts, a strikeout, and a 2 RBI double. To her credit, would love to pick up her 3rd RBI right here. Swung on and lifted into left field. Backing up is Weekly. She'll make the grab, tagging from 3rd and scoring easily will be Gibbs, and we're all square at 2 apiece. Noble gets the RBI sac fly. And just as quickly as Ritchie County had their first lead of the season on Wahama, just that quickly it's erased. Now bases cleared and Victoria Van Meter stands in as she fouls one back to the screen, 0-1. Van Meter's been outstanding in the field, but has been a big boost at the plate as well, 4 of 7 in the state tournament. Struck out 3 times, but had 3 singles, a double, and an RBI. She made that brilliant play. Bases loaded, 1 out in the first inning, and she gets another hit here as she hits it hard into right field. Law got up with it quick, thought about trying to throw to first. The ball was hit so hard, but realized quickly she didn't have a play on Van Meter. These 2 teams just so familiar with each other. They make good pitchers like Elliott and Living look human out here because they know what the other has. They've seen it too much. Now you get Morgan Christian standing in as she takes a big rip, 0-1. Christian's 4 of 6 in the state tournament, grounded out, struck out, has 2 singles, a triple, a home run, and 4 RBIs. That one fouled into the screen, 0-2. It was Christian's 3-run home run against Petersburg with the score tied 3-3 in the top of the 7th. That gave Wahama a 6-3 lead, their first lead of that game, and they were able to hang on for a 6-5 win against Petersburg. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Elliott gets her first 2 punch-outs of the game and retires Wahama in the bottom of the first, but not before the White Falcons come back and tie it up at 2 apiece. As the RBI sac fly by Noble evened it up, but then Elliott slams the door on the inning with a strikeout of Christian. We'll be back for the top of the 2nd inning right after this as you're watching the Class A State Championship game with us right here on Video Productions.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters here in the top of the 2nd inning for Ritchie County. As first pitch, Jones tries to bunt it up the third base side, but bunts it foul. Chris Kidd here with you from Kraft Field in South Charleston, West Virginia, with Joe Mounts, our engineer. This is the first of what Ritchie County hopes is 2 state championship games today. Wahama trying to end Ritchie County season and end it with a perfect season themselves with a win in this game, as this one rocketed back up the middle by Jones and that into center field for a leadoff hit. That the 2nd hit of the state tournament for Jones. She had started 0 for 7 in this state tournament with 5 strikeouts, a pop out and a ground out, but then singled at the end of the first game this morning against Petersburg, and now starts off the second inning with a line shot to center field. So that'll circle things back to the top of the order with Olivia Pittman. Pittman, 9 of 11 now in this state tournament, and an infield single to second base to start off the inning. This one hit hard out towards short, over to Noble for one. Going to be tough to turn two on Pittman, and they won't get her, but they do get the force out at second base to cut down the lead runner for the first out of the inning. Just a reminder that West Virginia teams are changing the game. West Virginia Game Changers is an initiative designed to educate, support, and empower our youth to make healthy choices as they prepare to be our leaders of tomorrow. That'll bring up Marissa Jeffrey. She hit into a fielder's choice to second base back in the first inning. Now runner goes. Pittman going for second. Throw down is a good throw, and they get her. It had to be perfect, and it was from Wolf. As the fastest player in this Class A state tournament just gets thrown out for the first time that we've seen all week. And Pittman leads the team with 17 steals, but what a throw there again. Got it to Noble, who was able to apply it right into the chest of Pittman immediately for the second out of the inning. Jeffrey checks her swing. Doesn't go around. 1-1 the count. And Amber Wolf has been great at the plate, but she has been amazing behind the plate this week at catcher. She's made several key throws and thrown out a couple of runners trying to steal on her. Count now 2-1 to Jeffrey. And even though these are two of the best pitchers in Class A and possibly the state of West Virginia, I think we could be in store for a higher scoring game here. It looked like the home plate umpire checking with Living about her mask, and we talked about it yesterday. Kept flying off or coming loose or coming to the side of her face after her delivery. Again, Living does have a violent delivery when she gets through the ball. Just wanting to make sure that that's going to stay on tight as that one misses inside to Jeffrey. 3-1. For a strike will run the count full to 3-2. Jeffrey batting .486 on the season with 11 RBIs. She had 2 hits in the sectional final. Trying to extend the inning here in the top of the second, and she won't as that strike 3 called on the outside corner. Great location for Lively, and perhaps now she's starting to find her range. We'll see how Elliott fares as she comes out for the bottom of the second, as we're all even at 2 after 1.5 innings of play. As you are watching with us live here from Kraft Field, South Charleston, West Virginia, the Class A state tournament.
General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
At Tudor's Biscuit World, we use the freshest ingredients in our made-from-scratch biscuits. The Biscuit and Gravy Platter. Hot and fresh biscuits, made from scratch gravy. Now that's a meal. Served all day long and only available at Tudor's Biscuit World.
Geno's introduces the Big Cheese, our supersized pizza piled high with extra cheese for only $9.99. A blend of 3 different cheeses, mozzarella, parmesan, and provolone. Try Geno's Big Cheese Pizza for only $9.99.
Bottom of the second inning we head. 2-2 your score. As Wahama wins, they claim the state championship. If Ritchie County wins, we go to a deciding game 3. Chris Kidd with you Joe Mounts, our engineer. And just a reminder that CBS Equipment has over 30 years of experience in the mining industry and is committed to supply mining companies with reliable, inventive, quality equipment as well as top-notch customer service. CBS Equipment is proud to support the Independence Lady Patriots as well as all the 2021 softball state tournament participants. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters this inning for Wahama. Emma Knapp stands in. 0-1 the count as Knapp 1 for 7 in the state tournament. She chops this one off of home plate. Nicely done by Jones. Tough throw and able to get her at first as Dodd once again able to dig out. A hard throw, and Jones, great anticipation there to get in and take that on a couple of hops, and threw that in a great spot for Dodd to be able to dig it out. Now that'll bring up Deborah Miller. Miller 2 for 6 in the tournament, 2 pop-outs, a ground-out, a strikeout, but 2 of her hits have been a couple of the more important hits of this tournament. Wahama trailed 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning against Petersburg yesterday. She had a 2 RBI single to tie the game, and then last night, leading 5-2, she had a solo shot to put the game more or less out of reach against Ritchie County. So now to count it 1 ball and 1 strike. Takes a big rip at that one and fouls it straight back out of play, 1-2. Wahama, the only undefeated team left in the state of West Virginia. We talked about how potent their offense is. They're averaging 8.6 runs per game on the season. Pitch misses outside, 2-2. Against a pitcher of Elliott's caliber, going to be hard to put up those kind of numbers, but they did get 6 off of her last night. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Chloe Elliott. She'll go down swinging for the 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring up Bailey Bumgarner. Bumgarner 0 for 5 on the tournament, 4 ground outs, a strikeout, and was hit by a pitch. She's got a lot of speed. She's put the ball on the ground and nearly beaten out several of these. Right now she's trying to circle this back to the top of the order. You have the ever dangerous Living on deck. Swing and a miss by Bumgarner, 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and after Living had a strong inning, back comes Miller, or Elliott rather, with a strong inning as she strikes out a pair. She's got 4 strikeouts now through 2 innings. As we head to the top of the 3rd, still all even at 2 apiece as we are here live from Kraft Field, and you're watching the Class A State Softball Championships right here on Video Productions.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player and select DVD or digital copy to get yours today.
Two as we move to the top of the 3rd inning. Chris Kidd with you, Joe Mounts, our engineer. It'll be the heart of the order this inning for the Ritchie County Rebels trying to retake the lead. Again, they scored 2 in the top of the first inning, but Wahama answered right back with 2 of their own in the bottom of the first inning. But Living and Elliott both with clean second innings. As Elliott was hit by a pitch in her first at bat. And on the season, she's batting .493 with a pair of home runs and 25 RBIs as she chops this one foul, 1-1. Fastball missing low, 2-1. The leadoff batter is reached in each of the first 2 innings for Ritchie County. There's a foul tip by Elliott. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitchers have pitched every pitch of this state tournament for their respective clubs. And they've had some tough at-bats against each other as well, as that pitch misses high, now 3-2. And they've gotten the better of each other on both sides of the plate. With Elliott getting that home run last night off of Living. Living getting several hits off of Elliott, now the 3-2. That will be ball 4 on the inside. Living kept trying to come inside, didn't want Elliott to be able to extend her hands and use all her power, but just could not find the strike zone as Kiera Weekly will now come on to run. And for the 3rd straight inning, Ritchie County will have the leadoff person on. And that'll bring up Olivia Dodd. Ritchie County first base coach coming in and discussing possibly situation with a courtesy runner. Well, while they do that, just a reminder that whether you need help with landscaping or the perfect manicured lawn, call All Seasons Lawn and Landscaping. Again, All Seasons Lawn and Landscape, proud supporters of girls softball and the Ritchie County Lady Rebels. We go back to action. Dodd slaps one hard over towards third base side and foul. And she had a hard hit ball right back up the middle that Noble was able to stop in the first inning, but did not have a play anywhere. And eventually led to a run scoring as Jeffrey kept hustling along the third base side and was able to come all the way home back in the first. The 0-1. Misses outside, 1-1. Nobody out here in the top of the 3rd inning. A leadoff walk. That's the 2nd walk given up by Living so far today, along with 2 hit batters. That one misses low, 2-1. Talked about how she's been able to pitch herself out of trouble. She could be heading for it again here in the top of the 3rd. Ritchie County, though, has had trouble really breaking through with a big inning against her. Now the count at 3-1. Now Living in danger of walking back-to-back batters to start the 3rd inning. Here comes the 3-1. This one hit hard into right center field, sinking fast, and that's going to get down. Cut off by Christian, and does a great job of getting the ball back in, holding Dodd to a single and keeping the lead runner Weekly at second base. But Dodd now starting to find the range with her bat after she had had some struggles in the first couple of games. She's rocketed 2 balls here this afternoon. And that'll bring up J.C. Gray. She was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. And a big opportunity for Ritchie County to try and retake the lead right here. Living misses high, 1-0. Curious if they would maybe try and bunt with Gray, but right now Living struggling to find the strike zone. Coach Mosser may just want to see if Living's able to come to the dish or not right now. There's a nice strike for Living right on the outside corner, 1-1. This one slapped back up the middle. Noble on it. On to second for one. Not going to have a play at first as they get one of the lead runners, but now runners at the corner. It's Weekly able to get over to third. And Gray now safe at first. And that'll bring up Lily Law. Law hit into a fielder's choice in the first inning. She's done a great job of putting the ball in play all tournament long. Ritchie County right now, that may be all you need to try and retake this lead, is getting this ball in play somewhere. Again, you got Van Meter moving in at the edge over at third base. We've seen Law be able to chop that ball over the third baseman's head a few times this week as well. She'll square to bunt, pull back. They throw down to second. Now they look back to third as Weekly to throw over. Not going to be in time. Tried to see if Weekly would break for home if they threw down to second. Wisely, she stays near the bag. Let's count 0-1 to Law. We'll see if Gray takes second base here. This one chopped foul towards third base side, 0-2. That's exactly what Law was looking to do right there, is try and chop that ball high over Van Meter. See if she could get that infield hit. Now Van Meter will hang back with 2 strikes. This would be a big strikeout for Living if she's able to get it. Law trying to find a way to put this in play. This one, again, slap foul. Count remains at 0-2 against the Ritchie County right fielder. Here comes another 0-2 pitch. This one chopped towards Van Meter, fields it cleanly, on to first in time. Throw comes home, but Weekly doesn't break. And now you have runners at second and third. Van Meter handled that perfectly, just as she has all week long. And now runners at second and third with 2 outs, and Macy Ireland comes to the plate. She was walked with the bases loaded in the first inning that scored a run, and at the time gave Ritchie County a 2-0 lead. With a hit here, she could get that 2-run lead back, but can Living find her way out of another jam? Comes inside and misses, 1-0. Ritchie County's won 11 of their last 13 games and gone 7-1 in postseason play. This being their first state tournament appearance in 6 years. As we mentioned, this is Wahama's first state tournament appearance in school history. Ritchie County looking for their first state title since 2011 as Ireland rips it foul over towards the left side. 1-1 the count. Wahama has been so good on defense and on the mound all year. In 26 games, they've only surrendered 34 runs. Pitch misses low, 2-1. Ireland with a pair of hits in this tournament, both singles. Would love to find one here. Give Ritchie County and Elliott a boost as they go back to defense. That one misses low, 3-1. On deck would be Carly Sanju. Should Ireland walk here? This one chopped towards third. Van Meter throws on to first. High throw, but Miller grabs it. And Wahama gets themselves out of trouble once again. And Van Meter with a couple of key putouts over at third base as Ritchie County leaves 2. We head to the bottom of the third inning, still all square at 2 apiece as we are here live from Kraft Field in South Charleston, West Virginia from the Class A State Softball Tournament. State championship game as Chloe Elliott has moved over to first base and Lily Law now coming in to pitch. Now again, they can sub Elliott back in on the mound if they want to, so this may just be a lefty versus lefty matchup situation as Elliott's had her troubles trying to retire Living in this tournament. She singled off of her to left field the first time up as Law pumps in a strike, 1-1. Again, Elliott has thrown every pitch in all 3 games into the first 2 innings of this tournament for Ritchie County, and she took a hit pitch on the arm last night. It seemed to shake her up momentarily, but then on the very next pitch, she hit the 2-run home run off of Living. Not sure if this is just a situation trying to go lefty-lefty or if Elliott has just reached the wall as far as her arm can go. Now the count is 3-1 to Living, who is just as quick as anyone on the base path if she's able to reach as she slaps it foul towards the first base side. As Dodd has moved out to right field, taking the spot of Law. She tries to retire Living for the first out of the inning, but misses low, ball 4. Might get an answer here. Miss at bat, and it does look like it's going to be Law to stay in as Gibbs, a righty, stands in. As we said, they can go back to Elliott if they need to, but as we said, we don't know about any of the endurance or how her shoulder arm's feeling either, so it's hard to make a judgment from here whenever we're not down there. I remember a few years ago in the state championship with Chapmanville and Herbert Hoover, Chapmanville coach Ronnie Uten had to lift his ace, Mackenzie McCann, in that championship game as her arm was just hurting near the end after throwing so many innings and throwing so many pitches over those 2 days. She just didn't have much left in the tank, and he had to pull her in the state championship game as Herbert Hoover went on to claim that title. Now Gibbs is ahead 2-0 in this count. She reached on an error in the first innings. This one hit hard towards Pittman. She knocks it down, but she's not going to have a play anywhere as Gibbs rocketed that ball off the turf. And runners at first and second with nobody out. That'll bring up Amber Wolf. She struck out back in the first inning. Now a golden opportunity here with first and second and nobody out. First pitch misses inside from Law, 1-0. Wolf batting .481 on the season with 3 home runs. And with Elliott off the mound now, a chance here for Wahama to take their first lead of the game. There's strike one on the outer half, 1-1. Last at bat was the first time all tournament that Wolf hasn't put the ball in play. As we said, she's hit the ball hard almost every time up, and here's another one right in the right field over the head of Dodd, and it's a ground rule double, and that will score Living to give Wahama a 3-2 lead and put runners at second and third. And Amber Wolf doesn't really miss a beat. Again, strikes out, one plate appearance, comes right back and tears the cover off the ball in the next plate appearance. Now this is a big opportunity for Wahama. Again, with Elliott out of the game, or excuse me, off the mound, I should say. She's still over at first base. But now getting into the depth of this pitching for Ritchie, it could be costly for them as that one fouled off towards the right by Noble. 0-1. As we said, most of these teams go with 1, maybe 2 pitchers. All season long in softball, you don't really see a huge rotation for a lot of teams. But then you get to the state tournament, and it's a hard ask to throw 3-4 complete games in just a couple of days as the ball gets away. Now indecision by Gibbs as they throw down to third, not in time as Pittman tried to get the tag down. But the throw by Gray was very good, but Gibbs able to get back in time. And Gibbs was thinking about coming, thought about it again, thought about it a third time before she turned around and went back to the bag. Now 1-1 pitch to Noble. Strike 2 on the outside corner. Law desperately needs an out right here with nobody out, second and third, and 1 run already in. This is outside, 2-2. That's why the state tournament is just as much of an endurance test as it is a competitive test. With so many games in such a close proximity. And it can wear you down. Here's the 2-2. This one hit hard between third and short. That gets through into left field. 1 run is in. Rounding third and coming to the plate is Wolf. The tag, not in time. And Wahama has taken a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. A 2 RBI double from Lauren Noble, her 4th RBI of the tournament, and her 2nd double. And I saw Elliott looking to the dugout and Coach Mosser after that at bat, and she was talking with him. I don't know if he was asking if she's able to go back or not. But it does seem to be just more physically maybe right now. Again, I am just speculating, and I know that I should leave my speculation at the house, but I'm just trying to think about possibly what it will be with Elliott. But again, as we said, we saw her checking that forearm even this morning on one of the mound visits against Petersburg. But she really had to gut that win out this morning, 1-0 in 7 innings against Kimberly Minich, I should say. in what was just a splendid pitching performance on both sides. She struck out 13 batters, did Elliott. Had to throw a lot of pitches both last night, yesterday morning, and this morning. It was 3 games for her in less than 24 hours, but it looks like they're going to give it back to her here. As Elliott will go back to the mound. Dodd will go back over to first, and Law will go out to right field. As Law faced 4 batters, walked Living, a single by Gibbs, an RBI double by Wolf, and a 2 RBI double by Noble. Have opened up a 5-2 lead now. But now you have to wonder, could the damage already be done? As far as the score, again, Living, one of the better pitchers in the state, albeit we've seen Ritchie County apply a lot of pressure on her in the first 3 innings. So I don't think 3 runs puts this completely out of reach at all for Ritchie County. We've seen them put up a lot of big innings in this tournament. But now things are going to be very difficult, trailing 5-2, runner at second and nobody out. And this Wahama offense likely isn't done yet today putting runs on the scoreboard. As Victoria Van Meter, who singled to right field in the first inning, takes a rip at this one and fouls it out of play, 0-2. Van Meter has 5 hits in this state tournament. It's just been a huge boost for this Wahama club. And I've been absolutely impressed and amazed at her play at third base. This one hit high in the air to left field. Coming on is Weekly. She'll make the snag for the first out of the inning. Now that'll bring up Morgan Christian, the center fielder. Just a reminder that West Virginia teams are changing the game. West Virginia Game Changers is an initiative designed to educate, support, and empower our youth to make healthy choices as they prepare to be our leaders of tomorrow. Christian struck out in the first inning, fouls this one back into the screen, 0-1. We said that 3-run home run against Petersburg proved to be the game-winning run when Petersburg cut the deficit to 6-5 in the bottom half of the inning. Christian has had a couple of great games in this tournament. Elliott misses outside, 1-1. Christian was on that one, but fouled it back into the screen, 1-2. Elliott trying to gut this inning out now, coming back after not facing 4 batters. And trying to keep this at a 3-run deficit heading to the 4th inning. Swing and a miss as she strikes out Christian for the 2nd time today. Picks up a big second out as Emma Knapp will come to the plate. That is 5 strikeouts now for Elliott in this game. It's 36 for her overall in this state tournament. Knapp takes a rip and comes up empty, 0-1. Knapp 1 for 8 in this state tournament. 4 strikeouts, 3 groundouts, and a single. Squares the bunt and fouls it off straight back, 0-2. Elliott trying to end what has been a 3-run inning for Wahama thus far, but gets away from her and hits Knapp in the shoulder. Be the 8th batter to come to the plate this inning for Wahama as Deborah Miller will climb back in. And she homered off of Elliott last night in that 6th inning that pushed the lead to 6-2. Before Wahama ended up closing the game out with a 6-3 win. Elliott was able to strike her out in the 2nd inning. Big rip, 0-1. Noble still standing out at second base after that 2 RBI double earlier this inning. And this is outside from Elliott, 1-1. Fastball right there from Elliott as it rides right in on Miller. Count moves to 1-2. And Elliott trying to keep Ritchie County within striking distance here. The 1-2 pitch. Lifted into the air to the right side and out of play. Skips and gets away, and that's going to move the runners up as Noble gets to third, Knapp over to second. And now a base hit could be extremely essential if Miller's able to drive in 2 more here. As defense in the outfield playing back. So a little bloop here would probably get the job done. The 2-2. This one hit back up the middle, and what a snag by Elliott. That one potentially had center field written all over it, and Elliott able to rob Miller of a hit and a pair of RBIs and keep Ritchie County close enough to keep Wahama in their rear view mirror as they move into the 4th inning of play. But 3 runs on 3 hits have given the White Falcons a 5-2 lead. We'll be back after this as you're watching the Class A state tournament with us right here live on Video Productions.
Boy, getting older is pretty stressful. Am I right, girls?
No kidding, Sandy. It seems like every morning I see a new driveway crack.
My deck sure isn't as level as it used to be.
You've got to keep up appearances, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you got that right.
It's time to stop worrying about your concrete problems. Give us a call today and rest easy tonight.
Top of the 4th inning we head as Addison Jones will lead things off this inning for Ritchie County. Chris Kidd here with you, with Joe Mounts, our engineer, as Jones is going to bat in place of Sanju. His first pitch from Living misses, 1-0. As the 8, 9, and 1 hitters this inning for Ritchie County, can they start a comeback here as it's chopped foul towards the left, 1-1. Ritchie held an opening 2-0 lead, but the last 5 runs have all belonged to Wahama. And now Living looking to go to work to try and find the last 12 outs that she needs. And there's strike 2. Wahama trying to complete an undefeated season, 26-0, and looking to make Ritchie County a victim of theirs for the 5th time this season. Prize ball misses, 2-0, or 2-2 rather. This is the first at bat of this state tournament for Addison Jones. Coach Mosser trying to find a spark off his bench here on the bottom of his order. That's ball 3 missing outside. Two walks and 2 hit batters already in this game for Living. She's trying to find her stuff to be able to put away her second batter via strikeout. Check swing, and Jones didn't go around, but it was strike 3 anyway. And she hits the outside corner for out number 1 here in the top of the 4th. Just a reminder that CBS Equipment has over 30 years experience in the mining industry and is committed to supply mining companies with reliable, inventive, quality equipment as well as top-notch customer service. CBS Equipment is proud to support the Independence Lady Patriots as well as all the 2021 softball state tournament participants. Now Chaselyn Jones stands in. She singled to center field her first time up against Living, 1-0. Been back-to-back hits for Jones from last game to this game. See if she can continue her little streak here as it's fouled off to the left, 1-1. This one chopped towards third, but right at Van Meter as she throws over to Miller. Nice stretch by her in order to snag it for out number 2. That's already about the 3rd or 4th, maybe even the 5th put out for Van Meter in this game. She just continues to gobble up everything that's brought in her direction. And now Olivia Pittman will stand in. Pittman batting .464 on the season. It was her double in the bottom of the 7th inning against St. Mary's that won the sectional championship for Ritchie County. She is 9 of 12 in this state tournament. She fouls one off to the right, 0-1. And Living would love nothing more than a quick 1-2-3 inning here. After a long first and a longer 3rd inning, that one misses low, 1-1. She continues to try and wipe her hands off here with moisture and a little bit warmer than it was yesterday now as we've gotten into the afternoon hours. 2-1 now the count. Trying to be a little more careful with Pittman as well. She knows how dangerous she is at the plate. This one fouled strong back into the fence. 2-2 the count. And if Wahama wins, they are state champions. If Ritchie County wins, we go to a deciding game 3 in this double elimination format. Right now, Wahama sitting at 10 outs away from completing a perfect season. Ooh, what a change up there by Living, and Pittman did a great job at just getting a piece of it to stay in the count. She had Pittman out in front, but Pittman realized it at the last minute and just took a chop at it to stay alive. Fastball misses inside and tight, 3-2. Ritchie County continues to make Living work in almost every at bat. Just another 3-2 count that the sophomore will run up against. This one ripped into left center field, and that's going to get to the wall. Pittman's going to round first and get to second easily. And a 2-out double for Olivia Pittman, her 10th hit of this state tournament. She has just been incredible through these 4 games that she's played here in Charleston this week. Pittman just a junior as well, so she'll be back again next year. She smoked that ball into the gap and will give Marissa Jeffrey a chance to try and cut into this lead. Jeffrey 0 for 2, hit into a fielder's choice and struck out. This one grounded back to Living. She'll run over to first, underhand it to Miller, and that'll be out number 3. So Wahama now 9 outs away from a state championship, and they look to add to their lead as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning. Back after this as you're watching the Class A state championship game with us right here on Video Productions. We move to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 5-2 in favor of Wahama, looking for their first state title in softball in school history. Chris Kidd with you, with Joe Mounts, our engineer, as Living will lead things off. Or excuse me, Bumgarner will lead things off as she fouls one off towards the left, 0-1. So it'll be Bumgarner, Living, and then Gibbs this inning, the 9-1 and 2 hitters. Bumgarner gets down a nice bump, but nicely fielded by Jones on to first in time for out number 1. Jones crept in along that third base side and was able to cleanly field that and throw over to get the speedy Bumgarner, and that'll bring up Mikey Living. 1 of 1 today, singled to left field in the first and then walked in the third. This one hit hard towards second, nicely stopped over there by Jeffrey, and she's able to corral it in time to throw over and get Living for out number 2. Gibbs will now come to the plate. If Elliott is hurting, then this would absolutely be what she needs most, is a quick inning right now, as well as to try and apply the pressure back on to Living, who's trying to shut this state tournament down with 9 outs to go. It's Gibbs. Takes a big rip and fouls this one into the screen. Gibbs 1 for 2 today, reached on an error in the first inning, and then singled on the infield in the third inning. This one fouled off again by Gibbs. Trying to keep the bottom of this fourth inning alive. Elliott looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning. This one hit high in the air into center field. Coming on is Sanjay, trying to find it and able to do so. Makes the grab for out number 3. So a big 1-2-3 inning for Elliott. Now Ritchie County needs to find some offense as they trail it by 3 going to the top of the 5th. As you're listening to and watching the Class A State Softball Championships with us right here on Video Productions. Top of the 5th inning we head 5-2 in favor of Wahama. Chris Kidd with you. Joe Mounts, our engineer. Living and the White Falcons 9 outs away from their first state title and an undefeated season, as the heart of the order coming up here for Ritchie County, and Elliott fouls one off, 0-1. Elliott today has been hit by a pitch and walked in her 2 plate appearances against Living. Changeup comes in and misses, 1-1. After that first inning, Living has settled in nicely in this game. Again, a couple of hits here and there and a walk or 2, but she started to get herself under control and settle down as a sophomore. Has shown great composure all week in these difficult situations. But now has the 3-run lead in the top of the 5th and a 2-1 count against her counterpart. That one misses low as it skips in, 3-1. She's in danger of putting Elliott on for the 3rd time in this game. Fastball ripped into left center field, and Elliott will reach to start the top of the 5th inning. Good cutoff by Christian out in center field. That's Chloe Elliott. Continues her hot streak here against Living. That'll bring Weekly on to run in her place, so could this be the time for Ritchie County to strike? Olivia Dodd will come up. She singled in both of her plate appearances today. They look to change out a few balls, it appears, over along the dugout. While they do that, just a reminder that whether you need help with landscaping or the perfect manicured lawn, call All Seasons Lawn and Landscaping. Again, All Seasons Lawn and Landscape, proud supporters of girls softball and the Ritchie County Lady Rebels. First pitch to Dodd, swung on and missed. Quick throw down to first. Weekly able to get back just in time. Dodd has tore the cover off the ball twice on Living. Let's see what she does here. Is change up, lifted into shallow left, and that's going to fall for a hit. Weekly will make the turn, but hold at second base. And now first and second for Ritchie County with nobody out as the 3rd hit of the day for Dodd. Now you get J.C. Gray coming up. Gray today has been hit by a pitch and reached on a fielder's choice. But you feel like if Ritchie County's going to make a push, right now is a golden opportunity. Living goes to work. This one slapped towards first base side, but just foul as Miller got over to kill it. We're back in this situation that we've become familiar with this week. Runners in scoring position, runners on base, and Living trying to find a way out of trouble, and she's done it much more so than she hasn't this week. This one hit high in the air into shallow right, charging in and can't make the grab. There's a force out at second though, and they're going to get it, as making the attempt was Bumgarner to slide in on it, but alertly Christian came over, threw into Noble, and they get this force out at second base. It does move the runner up to third, however. That ball just kept sinking faster and faster, and Bumgarner did everything she could to get onto it. And actually, it was Gibbs that went over and was able to get that ball after it ricocheted off Bumgarner. So runners at the corners now with one out in the top of the 5th inning, and that's going to bring up Lily Law. She hit into a fielder's choice and grounded out the third. Where's the bunt, pulls back, and now the runner caught between first and second. They're going to throw down, and they get her at second base, and the runner does not move from third. The absolute worst case scenario if you're Ritchie County. As Gray gets gunned down by Wolf on the base path, as Wolf just kept walking out and walking out. Waited till she got into an opportune position to fire and did so. It seemed like Wahama might be willing to trade the run for the out there, and instead they get the best of both worlds. This one, a tough nubber as Noble can't make the grab, picked up by Van Meter. She turns and fires home, but Weekly stays put at third base. I'm surprised Weekly wasn't running on contact there. With 2 outs, she could have scored from third base on that play. And an opportunity missed for Ritchie County to cut into the lead right there. And now Macy Ireland will come up. So despite all that, one swing of the bat here from Ireland, and we could have a tie ball game again. Fastball misses inside, 1-0. Noble still cleaning herself off after that diving attempt. Almost was able to make it as it got into the glove for a moment, but once she hit the ground, it came popping out. This one hit hard towards third, but it's right at the wrong person with Van Meter, but her throw's wide of the mark. That'll score the run from third. Moving over to third base is Law. And over to second base goes Ireland on the errant throw. Again, Van Meter made a great pickup once again, but the throw was wide of the mark. And that cuts the lead down to 2 now with Sanju coming up. Sanju 0 for 6 in this state tournament. Now would be a golden chance, an opportunity for her to get that first hit and to try and even this game back up. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Living taking her time right now, trying to dig out of this 5th inning. She's been close a couple of times here, but they haven't been able to shut the door as that pitch misses high, 2-1. Sanju, the number 8 hitter in this lineup. This one chopped high towards second. Going to be a tough play. Gibbs fields cleanly over to Miller in time for out number 3. And that is the type of play that'll make the hair on your neck stand up whenever it's coming at you. And Gibbs able to make a great defensive stop in order to limit it to just 1 run for Ritchie here in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th with Wahama still in the lead at 5-3 as you're watching the Class A state championships with us right here on Video Productions. It'll be the heart of the order for the Wahama White Falcons here in the bottom of the 5th inning as they lead it 5-3 in this state championship game. Chris Kidd with you with Joe Mounts, our engineer on video productions, as Wolf fouls it straight back and out of play. 0-1 the count as Wolf 1 for 2 today, struck out in the first inning and then had an RBI double into right center fielder last time up. Ritchie County able to scratch a run across and bring it back to a 2-run deficit. Wolf tried to find that little gap there between first that Dodd had left open but misses wide, 0-2. Elliott winds and fires, foul tip. Back into the screen, count will remain at 0-2. Elliott gutting this out. Even though she appeared to be a little injured last night and this morning, she was lifted for 4 batters, and in those 4 batters, Wahama was able to score 3 runs before she came back. Now Ritchie County trying to fight their way back into this game as Wolf fouls it down the left field line. 0-2 the count remains. And Elliott, a senior, heading to Seton Hall after this year. Her possible final softball game of her high school career. She's trying to get through this one, see if they can force a deciding game 3. But this against a Wahama team that they've yet to beat in 4 meetings this year as Wolf hits one down the right field line but just foul. Wolf's tried the left side, the right side. Now she climbs back in yet again. This one hit hard towards short, gets through into left field. Another sharp hit ball for Amber Wolf. That'll bring up Lauren Noble. Noble has 3 RBIs in today's game, has 5 for the state tournament. Had an RBI sac fly in the first inning that tied the game at 2, and then had a 2 RBI double in the 3rd inning that at the time gave Wahama a 5-2 lead. Quick throw down to first, not going to be in time. Wolf able to get back cleanly. And Elliott in a situation now where she can possibly ill afford to give up any more runs in this game, as this one popped up high by Noble on the infield, Dodd under it, and she'll make the grab for out number 1. That'll bring up Victoria Van Meter. As we look at a couple of our other state championship games going on right now. Right now, Cabell Midland leading St. Albans 3-0 in the top of the 6th inning, and Herbert Hoover leading Oak Glen 6-0 at the end of the 4th inning. So again, that is in your AAA and in your AA state championship games going on now as Van Meter fouls it back right on top of us here. We heard that thud. It's count 0-1. And just to check with Joe here on these, would that decide it or force a deciding? That would decide it. Same with Hoover? Okay. Okay, Hoover needs to beat him twice. Okay. So Hoover could potentially be forcing a 3rd and deciding game in AA, and Cabell Midland could claim the AAA state title if they continue on to beat St. Albans. Count 1-1 to Van Meter. She's 1 for 2 today, singled to right field and flew out the left fielder last time up. Big swing that comes up empty, 1-2. Wahama trying to get the run back that they lost in the top half of the 5th inning. Elliott misses outside 2-2. Again, the closer this gets to the end, the more Ritchie County would love to have as much pressure as possible on the sophomore Mikey Living to try and close this championship out. Swung on and hammered between third and short, and that gets into left field for a hit. Van Meter delivers again. Her second hit of the day and her sixth for the state tournament. Now you get Morgan Christian, who's coming to the plate. Christian hasn't had much success against Elliott today, as she struck out twice against her. Center fielder looking for a hit here that could widen this gap once again for Wahama. As Elliott bears down, comes right on the inside and hits the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Elliott back on the rubber, ready to go. The 0-1 delivery. Swung on and hit high in the air to center field as catch is made by Sanju. Tagging up, moving to third, and getting in safely is Wolf. Good throw by Sanju out in center field, almost able to catch up to Wolf as Christian moves the runner over. Now you get Emma Knapp coming to the plate. Knapp grounded out to third and was hit by a pitch in her two plate appearances. They contested whether or not Wolf left early from second base, but she's ruled safe. Be interesting to see what they elect to do here. Again, first and third with 2 outs. Van Meter standing at first. Let's see if they try and get Ritchie County induced into a rundown situation here or not. Doesn't appear to be. It's swing and a miss by Knapp. 0-1. Knapp lays down the bunt right in front of Elliott, throws over to first and in time. Nice cover by Jeffrey in order to strand 2 runners here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Ritchie County keeps this at a 2-run game as we head to the top of the 6th right after this. You're watching the Class A State Championships with us right here live on Video Productions.
The earth beneath my feet is turning like a wheel and beating like a drum.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
Boy, getting older is pretty stressful. Am I right, girls?
No kidding, Sandy. It seems like every morning I see a new driveway crack.
My deck sure isn't as level as it used to be.
You've got to keep up appearances, though, right?
Mm-hmm. You got that right.
It's time to stop worrying about your concrete problems. Give us a call today and rest easy tonight.
Little General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters here in the top of the 6th inning for Ritchie County, as they are down to their final 6 outs of their season, trailing by 2. Chris Kidd with you. Joe Mounts, our engineer here on Video Productions. In this do or die game for Ritchie County, Again, Wahama could lose this game and still have another game to play for the state championship. Ritchie County has to win twice. Wahama only once in this double elimination format. As Jones is 1 for 2 today. This one ripped but foul down the third base side. Jones singled to center field and grounded out the third in her 2 plate appearances today. And Ritchie County would love to get her on base with Pittman standing on deck with her 10 hits in this state tournament. Driving, sets and delivers. That pitch misses low, 2-1. She checks her pitch sheet on her left arm. Now ready to go, the 2-1. This one hit back up the middle. Noble Fields up with it onto first and in time for out number 1. And then Lauren Noble showing why she's been so sure-handed at shortstop all season. She only made 1 error all season out at shortstop. She's committed 2 errors in this state tournament, albeit both of those on some really difficult plays that she had to make. But she has been so smooth out there at shortstop whenever she gets true hop and she gets a nice little alley to throw into, showing why she's one of the best shortstops in the entire state. And now you get Olivia Pittman standing in. She's 10 of 13 in this tournament, swing and a miss, 0-1. Pittman singled on the infield in the first inning, hit to a fielder's choice in the second inning, and doubled to left center fielder last time up. If you're living, you absolutely love that you get to face her with nobody on base right now. This one slapped foul towards first base side, 0-2. Can Living retire Pittman on an 0-2 count? Yes, she can. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And what a huge strikeout that is for Mikey Living. Strikeout total hasn't been huge today, but she's found them whenever she's needed to. That's only her 3rd strikeout of the day. But she's done a great job throwing a lot of pitches to induce a lot of ground balls in this contest. And now Wahama 4 outs away from the state title. Marissa Jeffrey, she rips one into right field, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate as Bumbarner quickly came up with it, tried to get the force out at first, but late with it. But a good effort by her out in right field. Jeffrey gets her first hit of the ball game and her 5th for the state tournament. And now you get Chloe Elliott coming to the plate. Elliott has reached all 3 times today against Living, was hit by a pitch in the first, walked in the third, and singled in the 5th inning. And she hit a 2-run home run off of Living last night to tie the game at 2 at that point. Now does Elliott have any more heroics in her at the plate? Throw down to first, almost in time. As Jeffrey got caught leaning a little bit further off first than she might have wanted to that time, and Wolf nearly threw her out. Count 1-0 to Elliott. One swing could even this game, though. This one hit hard towards second, fielded by Gibbs on to first, and that'll do it for the top of the 6th inning as Wahama is 3 outs away from a state championship. We'll be back after this as you're watching the Class A state championships with us right here live on Video Productions.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
Now batting number 4, Jason Gray.
In the 5th inning. Miller did the smart thing there a moment ago, not really worried about the lead runner, just trying to collect outs right now if you're Wahama. As Dodd stands out at second base, first pitch to Law, in for a strike, 0-1. Cheering just continues to get louder and louder with each pitch right now that Living pumps in for a strike. Small town of Wahama can sense this state championship in their grasp right now. They are 2 outs away from it. Law takes the ball outside, 1-1. This one chopped towards third. Van Meter on it. Throws over to first. In time to Miller for out number 2. And now Wahama 1 out away from vanquishing Ritchie County for the 5th time this season, finishing undefeated and claiming their state title. And Macy, Ireland comes to the dish. Living steps off the rubber, composes herself, and now set to go to work. She's pitched every inning, every game, every pitch this year for the Wahama White Falcons, and now could be down to the final couple of precious pitches left in this high school season. There's the 1-0. And that hits Ireland in the side. That's the 3rd batter. That Living is hit here this afternoon, and now that's going to bring up the number 8 hitter, and Carly Sanju. And Sanju 0 for 7 in this state tournament. Still looking for her first hit. Now would be the perfect time for it with runners at the corners. Trailing by 2. As Coach Chris Noble will come out and talk with his infield and settle them down here. Again, their There's so much at stake, so much pressure this Wahama team has dealt with, trying to preserve this undefeated season. Again, Petersburg had them up against the wall and had their foot on their throat yesterday morning, and Wahama got off the mat. Ritchie County pushed them hard last night, but Wahama was able to pull away late. Ritchie County jumped on top 2-0 early in this contest, and Wahama came back with 5 unanswered runs. And now they're 1 out away from hoisting the state championship trophy. Coach Noble has what he hopes is the last meeting of the season with his group on the mound, as you hear the Wahama contingent trying to fire up their crew. As Sanju looking to spoil the party for the Wahama White Falcons here. Living continues to check her pitch sheet. Sanju grounded out back to the pitcher in the first inning and grounded out to second base in her last at bat. Here comes the first offering. 0-1 the count as Living pumps in a fastball. Strike 2 on the outside corner, and Wahama and Living 1 strike away from an undefeated season and a state title. First and third, 2 outs, a 2-run lead for the White Falcons. Strike 3 swinging, and Wahama has won their state championship. Friends, perfection is supposed to be chased but not attainable. But the Wahama White Falcons found a way to find perfection. They finished 27-0. Mikey Living finishes 0. And they are taking back a state championship to Wahama High School as Coach Dave Mosser and his girls, great show of sportsmanship as they stand on the field and applaud Wahama's victory. And now you see both teams shaking hands and congratulating each other. And what we all love to see after such a hard-fought victory and defeat on both ends. And Ritchie County did not back down from Wahama after losing to them 5-0, 5-0, 6-0 in all 3 games this season. And they dragged them to the limit in both of these games in this state tournament. But Wahama was able to find a way to defeat Ritchie County for a 4th and 5th time as they win 6-3 last night and 5-3 today. They get ready for the award ceremony down on the field. And while they do that, we'll step aside for a break and come back with the award ceremony as well as the all-tournament team right after this, as you're watching the Class A state championship game with us right here on Video Productions.
The earth beneath my feet is turning like a wheel and beating like a drum.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications or strings or hassles. It can be that way again.
Now that the world keeps turning around.
Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
Boy, getting older is pretty stressful. Am I right, girls?
No kidding, Sandy. It seems like every morning I see a new driveway crack.
My deck sure isn't as level as it used to be.
You've got to keep up appearances, though, right?
Mm-hmm. You got that right.
It's time to stop worrying about your concrete problems. Give us a call today and rest easy tonight.
Little General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
To 3, Wahama claims the Class A state championship over Ritchie County. Let's listen into the awards ceremony going on right now. Wahama wins the School Sportsmanship Award. And let's listen into the all-tournament teams and the other presentations of the plaques and trophies.
The next award will be the members of the all-tournament team are asked to come forward at this time and remain for the picture if you are here. First player, Olivia Pittman, Ritchie County Hospital. Sydney Sheets, Midland Trail Hospital. Amber Wolf from Wahama. Lauren Alton, Petersburg Hospital. Lily Law, Ritchie County. Tori Manmeter, Wahama Hospital. Christian, Wahama Hospital. Chloe Elliott, Ritchie County Hospital. Mikey Living, Wahama
Petersburg, one from Midland Trail as well. Congratulations to all of those young ladies. Now listen in. Presentation of the runner-up trophy, which will be presented to Ritchie County.
The 2021 softball runner-up team, Ritchie County Hospital. Team members Number 1, Carly Sanju. Number 2, Lily Law. Number 3, Chloe Lewis. Number 4, JC Gray. Number 5, Chloe Elliott. Number 8, Marissa Jeffries. Number 10, Chaselyn Jones. Number 11, Riley Griffin. Number 12, Kiara Weekly. Number 13, Carissa Weekly. Number 21, Olivia Pittman. Number 22, Addison Jones. Number 25, Macy Ireland. Number 26, Olivia Dodd. Runner-up trophy will now be presented to Ritchie County High School. Which includes Coach Dave Messer, Bosser, Coach Eric Burgess, and Coach Abby Burgess. Now the runner-up trophy will be presented to Ritchie County High School.
Third time, Coach Dave Messer and Ritchie County will finish as state runner-up, or excuse me, the 8th time now that they will finish state runner-up with 2 state titles in their back pocket. An incredible achievement for Coach Monster and his program. Now let's listen in to Wahama being presented with their trophy.
Number 12, Chloe Sigmund. Number 24, Bailey Moore. Number 33, Olivia Todd. Number 14, Lillian Bowles. Number 11, Alyssa Van. Number 2, Mikey Lighting. Number 7, Emma Gibbs. Number 6, Amber Wolf. Lauren Dover. Number 3, Brandon Speeder. West Virginia 2021 State Softball Championship Trophy.
What a conclusion to this state tournament as Chris Noble and his crew claim the first state title in Wahama High School history. Again, hats off to Coach Mosser and his crew as well, getting all the way back to the state championship game and in the state tournament for the first time in 6 years. Now finished runner-up for the 8th time under him. But Chris Noble, in just his 3rd year, perhaps building a powerhouse at Wahama High School in the single A ranks, as his crew ran through the regular season, ran through tournament play, and once they got to states, when things got even tougher, they never buckled, they never fell apart, they continued to fight back. And each one of their games, as they fell behind in 2 of the 3, were tied in the other, and yet still found themselves on top at the end of the day as they finished 27-0 and claim the state championship for the first time in school history. We'd like to congratulate all 4 of these single A teams, Midland, Trail, Petersburg, Wahama as the state champions, as well as Ritchie County on tremendous seasons and a tremendous week of baseball or softball here from Kraft Field in Little Creek Park, as this has been a phenomenal 2 days, and we look forward to more of it coming next season. And a great job here in South Charleston by this crew and these people for putting on this state tournament. We appreciate all the hospitality and all the help that they've given us throughout the week. But again, our congratulations goes out to all of the young ladies in this state tournament, single A, double A, triple A, and congratulations to the state champion, Wahama White Falcons, your 2021 Class Single A standard bearers for this year. Goodbye, everyone, here from Video Productions.